Did you know that your eyes are much better than your camera that you have? I don't care how much you paid for it. Your eyes are much better. So we have to help the camera understand how to see the light that's coming in through the lens. So I'm going to use my Canon R6. Whatever camera you have, whether it's a Canon, Olympus, Nikon, or Sony, they're going to have very similar settings. They may have different names. Grab your camera and let's jump on the back of the screen. Let's open up our menus. In my case, I am going to open up the back of my screen, and I do not have a menu selection for this. So I am going to hit my Q button on the back of my R6 to see metering modes. And by default, it just says metering modes. If I go over and come back, the first one's called evaluative metering. The second one is called partial metering. The next one's called spot metering. And the last one, center weighted average. So let's start with evaluative metering. And I've got my Synology router. You can see that on the screen. I'll click OK to select that, or set the set button. I hit the button to see my exposure. I am in manual so that you can see that line down at the bottom. If you're in any automatic mode, it's going to try to stay in the center. The only time you're going to see it off center, if there's not enough light for your camera to be able to even see it, it'll be so far off, or it's going to be so bright that your camera can't bring it down. So, but if you have it in automatic, it's going to make an adjustment to either the aperture, the shutter, or the ISO to get that in the center. It's going to try. And that center point is what's called 18% gray. So if you lose that little tick mark at the bottom, just hit your focus button, half press your focus button to get it back. So right now I'm on evaluative metering. If I come over this way a little bit, if I lost my button there or my tick mark, click it again, you can see it's a little bit overexposed now, not by a whole lot. If I slow my shutter speed down, I will get it back, or speed it up, I will get it back to the center. So let's put it back over here. Let's go back to our metering modes. Hit my Q button again. I'm going to go over one. It's called partial metering. When I hit set, you'll see a nice circle shows up in the center. That circle is the only thing that the camera is going to use to evaluate the light that's coming through the lens. So again, if I hit my button for focus, I'll turn the tick mark on. If I bring that back by slowing down my shutter speed, now I'm in the center. If I come over to my white box here, it's way overexposed, almost 2 stops. Slow my shutter speed down again, it's back centered. So it's only looking at that center circle. So let's look at the next option. That's called spot metering. This is the easiest one. Maybe the evaluative is pretty easy, but the name of this one really tells you what it does. If I hit set, I still get a circle, but it's much smaller than the other one. Let's keep the S as our point of focus. I am way underexposed. Let's slow our shutter speed down. I am now correctly exposed. Come over here to my DJI charger. 2 stops over, slow my shutter speed back down to get it back to the center of the exposure line. So if you're liking this, hit the like and subscribe. Appreciate it. If you also want to help support me, I'll have a link for a calendar I created for 2026. Check it out. Appreciate it. All right, so back to the last setting. If I turn my metering mode with my Q button, bring that menu back up, go to the last one. It's called center weighted average. To me, I don't think this one's really needed because it's going to use the whole scene with a little bit more priority for the center. So evaluative metering gives equal weight to everything. This might be a good use case if the background is unusually bright, or maybe one side is overly lit or really dark, and you really don't want it to be part of that. So you can use this last one called center weighted average to compensate for that. But I usually don't find much use for that, so I am going to move mine back to evaluative metering. That's what I use all the time. That's the setting that it comes with out of the box, and that's where you should probably be. If you bought a used camera, check it out, see what you have. Next week, we're going to create a video on the histogram and the viewfinder and how you can use that in addition to this focus, this metering mode to find out, is my photo properly exposed? So stay tuned, hang with me. See you next week. This is Doug Gabbard practicing photography, getting better one photo at a time.